Oh, no, don't do that. That is not what we want. That's what we want. That is what we want. All right, the stream is live. We'll wait for the people to get here. I'll wave at the camera for the people watching this after the fact who are not at the live show and wondering what in the world is this healthier, wealthier, sexier 2022 about. Well, if you hang with us, we'll teach you, or we'll tell you. Not really going to teach you anything. We're going to tell you exactly how you're going to get healthier, wealthier, and sexier. Woo! How is everybody doing today? And I realized I have the wrong camera on for the show that I'm doing. Boom! What is cracking? Let's make sure everything is the way it should be. Levels are good. Levels look good to me. Maybe we can get some smooth jazz in the background. I think we need some smooth jazz. What do y'all think? Some smooth jazz? Smooth jazz. No copyright. That'll do. That way I won't get... I need to actually make my music. There's a lot of my music available on the non-copyrighted side. Let's invite the TikTok family to this little ditty here too. So we'll let the TikTok family in on what we're doing. But I should get some of my music that I don't have copyrights on. Well, I guess technically I do own a copyright, but I own the copyright, and my publisher no longer messes. I've taken everything away from my publisher, so I'm the publisher now. YouTube shouldn't mess with anybody if I upload it, because it would be me messing with them. I'd have to put it up in the Content ID system. Bam! We can get some music here. Anyway, let's get some smooth jazz rolling for you wonderful human beings. And here we go. Let's make sure it's not up too loud. I don't want to make anybody deaf, but I do want everybody chilling hard like Jake Gyllenhaal. All right. They're notifying the users that I'm live. Now, this is too loud in my ear. I don't know how it sounds in y'all, so I'll wait for y'all to give me a sound check here on YouTube. But I will take... Oh, that's going to be way too loud. I could look at the numbers and see that. Let's bring that down a taste. There we go. Flames, what up, homie? Ursula says, hey, B, in case you didn't see it, I did get your email on Monday. So, thanks. Yes, I did see it. Thank you, Ursula. Hopefully it was a blessing to you. Ursula says, hi, Flames. Flames says, that would be awesome to hear your music, B. Ah! No. A lot of my music is bad. Let's just call it what it is. You know, as an artist, I can honestly say I made some good music, and I'm talking just my solo work. Nothing I did with all the stuff I did with other bands was great because of the bands, not because of me. And it's not like phony humility. I'm being dead serious. My album was barely mediocre. I put it out at a time where I was psychologically and emotionally really depressed and hurting. So I just wasn't in a good place. That's why I eventually took it down and decided if I ever wanted to do music again, which I didn't, that maybe I'd come back to it and clean the songs. Like, the songs had all the heart, right? The melody choice was cool. The lyrics were definitely okay for where I was at the time. I could have done, and obviously can do better. But hold on. I got Madden playing in my ear, trying to make sure that's not messing me up. But yeah, like just the production value of it was terrible. So I did what I thought was right and took it off the market and decided maybe one day I'll come back when I have more time to invest into it and a lot more mental and emotional health, where I can be healthy working on it and not reeling in a lot of pain. So yeah, like a guy, an audiophile, like deep into music guy took a listen. He's like, yeah, production wise, this is shit. But what you wrote and the music that's here is actually pretty good. So it's like, maybe one day. But I do have some like beats and stuff that I've worked on that, you know, I could just upload that aren't a part of the album. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Flames says, that's a good level with the music, B. Thank you, Flames. Thank you so much for everything you do. I appreciate you being such a faithful friend of the show, bro. Much love. Let's see what the folks on TikTok are talking about. Doc, what's up, lady? How are you? All right, so you guys ready to talk about this healthier, wealthier, sexier 2022 situation? Because the way we're going to do it, it's really simple. It's going to be challenging, but it will be simple. What we're going to do is not complex. Let's see who else is here. T.I. is here. What's up, homie? How you doing? You doing good today? Flame says, I need to get back into making metal again. Yeah, man. Maybe one of these days our streams will cross and you and I will work on a song together. And I can either be the singer, the screamer, or the rapper. You pick. Oh, man. In order of skill, rapper first, screamer, then singer, probably. So that's the order of... You're going to get a better B depending on which one you pick. Jennifer, what's up, lady? Okay, so I brought everybody here to talk about the Bryant Chambers Movement Wisdom Challenge, or what we used to call the 52 Book Challenge. Most importantly, really just to talk about the benefits of the program, the benefits that are going to come to all of you, and kind of giving you the, hey, here's why you should care about doing this. And then talk a little bit about how it works. All right, so the benefits are the title of today's video. I want to help everybody in 2022 get healthier. I want to help everybody in 2022 get wealthier. And I want to help everybody in 2022 get sexier. And let me define what I mean by sexy, because I don't mean how this, well, it could be how this looks, but it's more along the lines of, they got some free jazz playing. Now, free jazz is a little bit hard to talk over because it's busy. So I got to turn that down in my ear. By sexier, it's not necessarily making one like physically sexier. It's making one more attractive in relationships, meaning, friendships, or, could be romantic relationships or marriages, but most importantly, making you a more attractive human being, right? Not just physically and aesthetically, but as a human soul, making all of us, myself included, collectively more likable, and putting people in a situation where they want to be around us. Like I was thinking before the show today about, somebody was asking me about, making friends as you get older in life. And I said, I have a really specific system for how I pick my friends. And I base it on my values. So there's a very, very small group of people that make it into what I call the friends bucket. And it's just about having the value systems set up that make sure that the people are there, the right people. So the idea here is increasing all of our collective happiness while increasing how successful we are and how healthy and sane we are. It's like, let's all get to these dreams, but let's get to these dreams happily with our sanity still intact, right? Like, one of my dreams when I was a super, super young guy before I hit it was, hey, I want to be one of those guys they talk about in the world that makes the magic 6 figures, right? And I remember when I got to that point in my life quite some time ago, it was bad. Like, what I was doing to make that money was so wrong for me as a person that there were days where I actually contemplated maybe dying is better than this, which is a really selfish thing to think. It's very narcissistic, but I was in a very hard place emotionally back in those days. But the point being is, I don't want you to just have a dream, let's go make 6 figures, and then you get there, but you're miserable doing it. I remember telling my mom one time when she was asking me about, so you're going to go on this entrepreneurial journey, you're going to leave the corporate world because you clearly don't belong there because you want to kill everybody when you're there and you have issues. I'm like, yes, I'm just a different person. But she was trying to ask me, like, how, like some of the questions she asked me were just so not how a person in this space thinks. Like, is it safe? I'm like, nothing is safe. And then I reminded her, like, didn't the place where you work get furloughed? Like, your shit's not even safe. But it was one of those things where, as I started to go on that journey, realizing that, yeah, I can make a ton of money doing these other things over here. But I told her, I said, the analogy I use, Mom, I said, picture you're a nun working at the Vatican, okay? I said, this is what it's like to work where I was working at the time. I said, picture you're a nun working at the Vatican. Okay, she's like, got it. I said, you get human trafficked, and now they're making you hoe out on the streets in some really bad place for money. Like, the person who would, like, the last person on earth who would be on the streets hoeing is a nun at the Vatican. And now your job is hoeing on the streets. That's what it felt like in the place where I first started to earn 6 figures. it felt like hoeing and selling my fucking soul to something I thought in a lot of ways was ethically fucking reprehensible, which is why I'm not, obviously there anymore. But what I want to help other people do is, like, if you have this financial goal, first of all, don't make it an arbitrary number, right? Figure out what you want in your life, and then let's make a plan to go get it and figure out how much money that is. I always advise people, don't make arbitrary money goals, because they're usually too big for where you are, and the goal is too far out for you to have the urgency and the discipline to actually go after it. So it's about making your goals smaller. Well, my whole point is, I want to help you get healthier, wealthier, sexier, and happier. But let's do it in a way where you get to keep your sanity and not end up like me, mentally and emotionally lost while you're in the middle of your dream, right? I don't want you to have to go to hell and stay there just so you can have one of your dreams. You may taste a little bit of hell on the road to your dreams. That's part of the journey. But that's designed to make you strong and toughen you up, not to kill you and keep you there. All right. iFlame says, Ursula says, confidence equals sexy. That's true. That's true. Confidence is one of the most attractive personality traits in the world. Let's see. Doc says, I caught the sweet and sour chicken resting. Hope you're well. I am great. Oh, you caught the sweet and sour. Oh, the sweet and sour sicken. I got you. You're resting up. Well, stay resting. My whole family, 80% of my family had it. So hang in there. You're going to be all right. We're going to get you right. Let's see, who else is here? Cool. So anyway, healthier, wealthier, sexier, and we're doing it through the 52 book challenge. The reason why we're doing that is getting to the things that you'd like to have in your life really comes down to knowing the right things and people, right? Having the right skills. And if you don't have them, we can help you get them. And then just simply showing up and executing with discipline and consistency. If you have those things, anything that you're setting yourself up to do is pretty much going to work. Sun Tzu says, the person that knows, in The Art of War, Sun Tzu says, the person that knows themselves and knows their enemy will never have to fear the outcome of 100 engagements. I translate that to say, if you know you and you intimately understand the problems you have and why they are that way and the circumstances surrounding them in the context, you can't lose. You cannot lose. Now, that success, though, is predicated on one simple thing that 99% of the people I run into in the world don't have, which is self-awareness. And one of the reasons why I find myself hard to deal with other people is I'm so violently self-aware that when I get around other people, they don't really know how to take me. Because it's like, damn, he said that shit with conviction. It's like, yeah, I've put a lot of thought into this thing here. I know myself really well. But a lot of people don't. And that lack of knowledge, that's how I know how to choose the right path for me to get to where I'm trying to go. And my path's gonna be different than your path, right? But if you know yourself, you avoid that nightmare dream that I just told you about a minute ago, where it's, yeah, I'm earning all this money, but I'm dying on the inside and I'm not seeing my kids, and it's fucking nightmare, right? So that's the goal, right? It's about getting, so this part of the challenge, right? The 52 book challenge is gonna take care of the knowledge part for sure, because you're going to get the knowledge from the books. But the books that I have chosen for this challenge, written by a lot of people who are a lot more successful than I am in some cases, the books that I've chosen for the challenge are also going to help you develop important skills, right? So the first book in the challenge, which has already gone out, if you're not in the challenge, you're already behind. It deals with, if you have a dream, here's why you don't have it. And here is the very specific thing you were doing wrong that's going to keep you from having it forever. And if you fix that one thing, all the other pieces start to fall into place. So the books we're choosing are specifically designed to give you information that you probably either haven't seen before, or at the very least haven't seen it presented the way it's presented, to help you develop new mindsets that are better at helping you get to the outcomes that you want. On my late night show last night, we talked about I always laugh when I listen to the hustle porn people that work 47 hours a day, because it's like, well, if they were soldiers, their 18-hour day could be a 6-hour day, because soldiers have systems and we're taught to critically think through problems so that we can get shit done much more efficiently, effectively, which translates to faster. Like when I started working in the regular world, I noticed that an 8-hour day in the regular world was like my first hour in the military. I could get things done I move at the speed of war. which is fast as fuck. If you've ever heard people talk about like playing in the NFL, I've never been there, but one thing I always hear is these motherfuckers are fast. The NFL, like, you have to be on your game, and war is the same way. So in less than a year, kind of the promise for you, if you show up and do the work, because it's a promise you're making yourself, it's not a promise we're making, is you are going to be healthier, because you're going to have books that are helping you understand what's going on in your mind if you're dealing with challenges. We have a book that deals, for example, with people like me who've been through trauma and now are kind of just blessed with PTSD for the rest of our lives. No problem. We turn PTSD into a superpower. In my tribe, we make it happen. Right, but it's going to teach you, here's what actually happened, here's why and so you'll have a greater understanding of where you are and some of the reasons why you're struggling emotionally and not able to accomplish certain things could be because of underlying mental health issues that some of these books will help you uncover. And then you'll have the ability to talk with therapists and other professionals from a place of knowledge instead of a place of complete, I don't know what's going on. And then we're going to give you books that enrich the soul, right? Things that some of the books in this challenge will take you 20 minutes to read. The first book in the challenge, I think most people can get through it in a day. So it's not about just forcing you to read textbooks for hours and hours at a time, right? We're picking books that are specifically going to give you information that really helps you get where you're going. So things that enrich the soul is a huge part of it. My wife, Miko, was saying, hey, we need to add this book, another book that a friend of ours did, an artist named, you guys know Madeline here on TikTok. We purchased her book, and we're going to make her book one of the future challenges because her book is great at actually dealing with mental health, like using the book to deal with mental health issues. Like Miko told me, she showed me a page in the book. She was like, I was stuck on a problem that I was dealing with, in her business, in her consultancy. And I was stuck and I was emotionally, it was bothering me. And she's like, I turned to this one page in the book and the picture said everything. There was no words, just the picture described exactly what I was going through. She's like, I was able to stare at it for 5 minutes and say, yep. And it soothed me. It helped me understand, like the picture communicated to her what she was dealing with. Because Madeline, if you've never seen her art, she's extremely talented at conveying emotional and psychological states in her artwork, where it's just like, I've looked at pictures of hers where she's posted them on TikTok and said, yo, can you tell what I was feeling when I drew this? It's like, I can tell exactly what, because you drew it so perfectly to convey your feelings. You can tell exactly what you're feeling. So stuff like that. But the idea is, learning things about yourself and learning things about how the brain and the body works. That's going to help you increase your health, right? And then we're going to help you. We got, for example, this book right here. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. The YouTube folks can see it. This book right here is going to speak directly to, at a very high level, but also at a very tactical level, like finances and investing. Like, how does investment actually work? And why do so many people get it wrong? The simple answer in the book is so many people get it wrong because they want to get rich tomorrow. Everybody wants to get rich. Everybody wants to be a billionaire tomorrow. I tell people on my show all the time, you guys focus on being a millionaire tomorrow. I'm focusing on making sure my great-great-great-great-grandchildren are billionaires, right? The long game, the patient game, the game where you don't fuck people over for an extra buck or sell an inferior product just because people are clamoring for it because they have dopamine addictions. Fucking social media. That type of stuff. So you're gonna, and I'm not even talking, that's the learning part. That's the knowledge part. When we get to the skills and the actually executing part, the challenge is we're all hanging out on Discord, and every week, so you're gonna get a new book recommendation. The first week already went out, so you're behind the curve if you haven't joined yet, but we'll tell you how to join before the show's over. You get the book. 2 weeks from that email coming out, you'll have time to procure the book, go buy it, or go get it, however you get books. And some of the books are out of print, so you'll be able to use websites like archive.org and just read them for free. Some of those books that are out of print, there's also audio versions on YouTube where you can just, like, as a matter of fact, one of the books I know for a fact, I've read it 7 times probably, and I've listened to the YouTube video of it. So there's many ways to get access to these books. So if money is an issue, especially with the pandemic and everything, you don't need to break the bank buying, hundreds of dollars worth of books over the next year. But I also tried in a lot of cases with there's very few books that are expensive, but with I think there's one book that went over $50. And so I found a version of it that was cheaper and put it in the program. But the beauty of the program is, so you're going to get the book recommendation, you get the book, you read the book, and then so you have a week to get it, and a week to read it, essentially 2 weeks. And then at the end of that period, you come on our Discord server and you're going to tell us what was your one takeaway from the book and how you're going to apply it to your life, career, or business. Right? And so the reason we're doing that, like, I don't want book reports. I don't need anybody summarizing these books because a lot of people in my tribe have already read most of these books because they're mandatory reading for the Spartans that I train. Right? But I don't want book reports. I want to know what was one thing, one piece of treasure one piece of gold that you took out of the book that today you're going to go find a way to apply it to your life, career, and business to make it better. Right? And by doing that, the beauty of what happens on Discord is you write that, but then there's hundreds of other people writing their perspective, and you get to read those and their takeaways. And there's going to be a trend emerge. I promise you. I've done this a couple of times. A lot of people are going to have the same takeaway, and a few outliers are going to have a different takeaway. And all of us collectively are going to have a better perspective of the knowledge in the book. And what we've just done is something that the military does for people all the time that the regular world doesn't do when they train you guys. It's called applied knowledge. You read the book, so you now have institutional knowledge. You've read it, but now I've told you, tell me what's the one principle you took out of it. Now you've refined the knowledge because you've had to talk about it, right? And now you've just went out and applied the knowledge and gotten the results. You now have what's called applied knowledge. It's why when people talk about be your leaders born or made, they're made. Always. Effing, like, nobody asks that question unless they're not a leader. The only people who ask are leaders born or made are people who either don't or can't lead, and they're trying to evaluate, like, do I have a shot? Yeah, everybody has a shot at being a leader if you're willing to accept the training. You can train anybody to lead. Now, of course, there's exceptions to the rule. People with mental health issues. You know, I have mental disabilities that don't necessarily prevent me from leading, but they certainly prevent me from dealing with people a lot. So, yeah, there's going to be people who can't. But for the most part, everybody can be trained in the process of leadership, which is really just the process of serving other people to a common end. Right, and removing obstacles and caring and serving them like a leader. It's funny. I hear politicians say it all the time, but they're often so full of shit because they have to be. God love them. I'd be like them too if I was one. That's why I choose not to be. I don't like having to be full of shit. But this leaders or servants, it's like politicians give lip service to that. I've watched people bleed on the battlefield who actually do it. And so spoken and institutional knowledge, politician, guy on the battlefield bleeding, applied knowledge. And so you're going to walk away with applied knowledge and skill that you can now take into the workforce. I lie to you not. I have had job offers simply because I walked into a place, the owner happened to be there, and he and I got into a conversation about Socrates and some shit I read in, one of my philosophy books. And just the dude was like, how the fuck and because first of all, I think people think I'm in my 20s sometimes, so they assume that I'm a kid. Right, and that's fine. I don't know how they come to that conclusion, but whatever. And so people have a tendency to kind of condescend and talk down to me because they think I'm younger, immature, or less experienced. And it's like, okay, I got it. But literally, I was having a conversation with a guy at a business. I didn't know he was the owner. He was in, plain clothes, didn't have on a uniform. And we were just talking about, he was saying a thing, and then he said it to me, and I said, well, Socrates said blah, 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 blah. And he's like, he literally, the next words out of his mouth were, hey, man, you need a job. I've never heard a person walk in this store say some shit like that. Like, your knowledge will make you attractive. Now you'll have to learn the laws of power as well, so you don't let your knowledge get in your way, like this guy does. Because you got to deal, like in the world, you've got to deal with insecure cowards. It's what most people are. So you got to learn that's what this book's about, by the way. This book's in the challenge. You want to go ahead and buy it. I won't tell you where in the challenge is, but this book is literally how to deal with hypersensitive cowards. That's what this should be called. People who are going to tell you about their fucking feelings all the time and expect you to manage them. People are entitled with their emotions. That's why we can't say words on the internet anymore, because we have to manage your emotions for you. You can't regulate yourself or stay away from places where people say things you don't like because you're a baby. That's fine. And we have just enough advertising companies and shitty media companies who will acquiesce to that bullshit because they want to sell you stuff. Was that out loud? I'm sorry. That's supposed to be for my private groups. Anyway, T.I. says, I'm going to get my brother to join the book challenge. That's what's up, man. Yeah, my Navy SEAL brother, one of the guys who I train with and I coach up in business and stuff. And he and I were talking earlier this week. I told him about the challenge. He's like, dude, you doing one? I totally got to do it. I was like, when my Navy SEAL brother endorses it and he's joined it, I'm like, that was the greatest win of the challenge yet. I shared it with him, and he's a super busy dude because he's a CEO and operator of his company. Like, we're helping him build his company essentially, so that we're essentially going out to finish up some things that need to happen in the business this year that will allow him to hire more people and eventually hire the CEO that replaces him. And then he'll become he wants to be a practitioner in the business, not necessarily the CEO. Because his heart is in doing the work. So we're helping him build that. And when I told him about the challenge, he was like, hell yeah. I was like, well, if he likes it, that's all I need to hear. All I need to hear. Let's see. What are the people on TikTok talking about? Doc says, I move at the speed of war. I dig that. Yeah, I thought you might. Yeah, and that's something that's hard for you veterans that listen to me. Understand that all of you, especially those of you who have tasted the hell of war, you're going to run at the speed of war for the rest of your life. Just know that. And other people are going to look at you like, why is this dude? I literally had a boss once upon a time ask me, that it was the scene from the Chappelle show. Like, y'all remember the Chappelle show? Where they got the white dude that goes into the house full of black people. And I love that joke because I remember the episode of The Real World. It was the first episode ever of The Real World when I was a kid. And I remember watching it. And they just brutalized this black dude. Like, he could do no right in the house. And I don't think it was necessarily just because he was black. It just so happened he happened to be black. But it just, all the shit that was happening bad, they were doing it to him. And so Chappelle makes a show where but he was the only black dude on the show. So it seemed like, why are they picking on the black guy? So he just reversed it and made one white dude go live with a bunch of black people. And they brutalized this poor kid, which the kid who plays the white kid is Finnegan. What's his first name? He's a hilarious comedian who plays Chad on the... It's Finnegan. Is it Chris Finnegan? Damn it, man. I hate that I forgot his first name. But Finnegan is his last name, and he's actually a really funny comic. I like him. But they go to get a job, and they're working at like Smoothie Hut, or I don't know jobs. I don't know places. I don't go anywhere. People suck. But he's working, and all the other people are shooting dice and shit. And he's trying to tell them, hey, we got to work, man. And then Charlie Murphy says, hey, man, why are you trying to work so hard for? And I literally had that happen to me once. Where it was like I was being told, I was told I was working too hard. Okay. Got it. I thought we were supposed to be awesome. And remember the letters we keep getting from the CEO of this company that tell us how much we suck? I'm actually trying to help us address that. No, we don't want to. Okay. Got it. I was like, I'll just go back to being the consultant that you don't listen to. Which is why I don't do consulting anymore. Clients are stubborn and don't fucking listen. And they think they know better than their consultant, which is hilarious because it's like, why did you hire a consultant if you think you knew better? Just do it yourself. And if you could do it yourself, I wouldn't be here. Boo! Okay, so Shadow's Reflection says, how do I join the book challenge? So glad you asked. What's up, Miguel? Good to see you, man. Long time no chat. Good to see you. Happy New Year to you too, man. Oh, I know none of my mods are here. Let's get this. Bam, I'll be the mod today. We'll get rid of the bad people. All right, so people are asking, how do we join? So the way we join the book challenge, I'm going to pull it up. And by the way, this is all free. It's not going to cost you a dime unless you pay for your text messages. I should say that. I guess it's technically not completely free if you don't have unlimited texting. The 4 text messages I will send you a month will take away from your text total. So just keep that in mind. Standard text rates apply. Nick Vestahausen. What's up, homie? Good to see you. Now I am looking for... Actually, I'll just pull it up on my phone. Where's my phone? Who took my phone? Which one of you hoes took my phone? Oh, gang, for my regular crew, for YouTube, we got a new grab bag tonight. So for the late night show, you got to, here's my phone. All right, I'm going to tell you guys how to join this challenge. Here we go. I want to pull it up because I don't want to get it wrong. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. Let's see. Hunter says, book in the bag. What kind of book report you want, B? I'm glad you came here because I just talked about I don't want a book report at all. That's exactly what I don't want. What the thing you're supposed to write, and check the Discord because I think I broke it down on there, but if I didn't, I'll go at it. All I want you to do is read the book, and I want you to talk about one takeaway from the book that was super profound, and tell us how you're going to apply it to your life and or career in business today. That's all. It doesn't need to be a 7,000 word essay about your pontifications of the writing style or any of that other horse shit to try to pass a bullshit college class. This is about actually getting you knowledge, not trying to help you pass a test so we can keep siphoning money out of you and putting you in debt for learning shit you could have learned for free. All right, so we're going to text the word books to 833-576-2460. We're going to text the word books to 833-576-2460. I will say it a third time. People yelling in the comments right now because you didn't write it down fast enough. It is 833-576-2460. Text the word books to that number. And so you'll be on my book list. That's what that number is. And like I said, it's free. It doesn't cost anything to join, but standard text messaging rates apply. And so every week, 11 a.m. on Saturdays, I think it's set up right now, you're going to get a book recommendation. Now, you do not have to participate in the challenge if you just want to get my book recommendations because you'd like to read them on your own time and consume the knowledge the way you'd like. No sweat. You can totally be on the book list without being a part of this challenge. The challenge is just for folks that really want to, they want to be like a CEO, like a person who reads, like CEOs, I think they read a book a month. You know, and so when I heard that, I was like, okay, I'll do it the Army way. I'll read 3 books a month. I'll triple it. And so, I'm sorry, that's not accurate. I was reading 12 books a month at my height. I read a little bit less now, and a lot of my reading, I'm going back and studying other things, or I'm learning courses, so it's technically reading. But when I'm reading 3 books a week, it's like, well, if I can help you read just one of those books a week, right? And you have the discipline, you have the diligence to do it, but you also have a community of people who are holding you accountable. And not just accountable, like get it done, peer pressure, but like I'm a part of a community and my voice in this community about what I'm going to say matters. We want to hear from you. I need to show up and perform because that's what good people do is they show up and they perform for their communities, right? So that's the game. Again, that number is 833-576-2460. Text the word books to that, and you will be on my book list, and you will automatically be entered into the 52-book challenge. And the only thing required for you to be a part of it is your participation. It's every week. You'll get the book recommendation, buy the book, then you'll have a week to read the book, and then you summarize the book the way I just told Hunter over on our Discord server, which if you're not on our Discord server, especially you TikTok folks, I know you're not because TikTok won't let me tell you that I have a Discord server without paying for an ad. But then they oftentimes tell me that my ads don't meet their whatever. So I'm like, all right. I guess I'll have to take the TikTok class and how to be a pansy ass that doesn't offend people, just like I did on Facebook back in the day. All right, people are joining. Look at that. All right, so if you are just joining today, you have already missed the first week's book, which is part of the reason why I'm doing this live stream, especially for the TikTok folks who are very hard to get information to. If you're just signing up today, you've already missed the first book, so you need to get over to the Discord server because we post the books there too. You need to get over to the Discord server so you can see what the first book is so that you don't miss out. Hunter said, nothing was profound. You have a closed mind, Hunter. It's not the book that wasn't profound, brother. It's you. You missed the simple truths because you were looking for something. You wrongly expected the profound truth to come in a bag that it doesn't come in. It's not the book that let you down, it was your expectations. You were looking for some secret, and there is no secret. The secret is you're making the wrong. If the secret is you need to make the right choices, and here's how. And you guys are going to find that too. A lot of these books are very basic, simple shit, but they're basic, simple shit that most of you are probably fucking up. Because you're not going to have, oh my God, this taught me exactly how to trade in the stock market. There is no book for that. Matter of fact, that book is in the challenge. You know what that book teaches you? Trying to trade in the stock market is dumb. So, like, super wealthy people do it this way, you know? Jennifer says, is there another way to receive the book titles? My phone app doesn't support that number. Well, Jennifer, I'm guessing you're overseas. Yes, just go to the Discord server and we post the books there. The same day the text message goes out, we post the links on the Discord server. Let's see, Keisha says, following the book recommendation, see you soon. I'm also rereading JP. That's what's up. Hey, good to see you, Keish. Jennifer says, will the Discord server give the titles? Yes, ma'am. It will. Simply Clean. There's somebody I haven't seen in 70 years. What up? Hi, Bryant. I've missed listening. Well, we've missed you too. It simply says, what book are you discussing? No book in particular. We're doing a 52 book challenge for 2022 to help everybody get healthier, wealthier, and sexier. And so it's just basically the whole purpose of this challenge. Because like Hunter's asshole statement about this book sucks. It's like, it's not about how awesome the book is. It's about applying the principles in it and being disciplined and consistent. And the trick, like the behind the scenes trick, is what everybody's going to be doing during this challenge is reprogramming their brain to have disciplined behaviors. So I just kind of gave you the secret to how the challenge works. You've now seen Behind the Veil at the Wizard of Oz. And it will naturally, it reprograms the subconscious brain, which reprograms habitual behavior, which reprograms results, which means you're healthier, wealthier, sexier. But I can tell you, every person listening to this right now is not reading a book a week and doing the diligent work of reporting on it. Here is what the takeaway was and how I'm going to apply it to my life. And frankly, that shit should have been taught in 4th grade. That is a discipline everybody should have had in 4th grade. Was we've known since fucking Socrates that the reason why all these democracies keep falling apart is because the human animal will not educate itself. So, like, I've had enough of it. Fuck it. If it won't educate itself, I'll try to help it. Here. Yeah. So, this is a discipline everybody should have. I don't know why I know why we don't. We're conditioned to fucking play video games and bitch about shit so they can sell us Viagra when our dicks get soft. Right? Because they stress us the fuck out instead of teaching a simple principle. Hey, read good shit every week and put it. I mean, the Bible taught that, for Christ's sake. And all you're getting, get understanding. If those people had it figured out, what are we still watching Netflix for? Boo. Hunter says, or I'm a professional. And I am in fact a grinding. You're good, Hunter. Nothing but love for you, homie. Okay, people are joining the book club. Get in there. There you go. Oh wow, I've never seen that. Never seen that area code before. You're from a cool place. Nice. How's that jazz music treating everybody? Is that okay? Not too loud? Not too crazy? Because sometimes they put free jazz in here and it gets a little crazy. Flames, I can't put it in chat. YouTube and TikTok delete it because it's a phone number. I mean, I could disguise it and shit, but here, I'll try disguising it. Actually, I can't. My computer just broke, so we'll just sit here and talk to each other. I can't type anything right now. Yep, I'll never buy anything from Asus again. Shitty ass laptop. Cool courses, yeah, my stupid brain craves the short-term dopamine. Well, everybody's brain craves that. It's just about, this program's going to help you retrain your brain to crave knowledge instead. And that's another thing too, is like going through this process is going to give you a hunger for knowledge too, that school doesn't give you, because school spends all of its time destroying your curiosity instead of actually giving it to you. It's going to give you a hunger and a thirst for knowledge. The same thing that happens when I train people, when I've trained, I don't do it anymore. When I used to train people in the gym, was I could always predict the people who would stick with it, because one, they would show up every day, they'd do the work and never complain. But they would show up after, like, once they started to, like, if I could get a person to a place where they could get a measurable or visible result, I had them hooked. Because you're now training, like if I take you to the gym and you're out of shape, or you want to look better, or whatever the thing is that we're working on. Because you're going to do the work, it's not me doing anything, it's just me helping you do the right things. But it's once you've done enough work, which usually happens within 30 or 60 days, you're going to see change to your body. You're going to feel it. That is the hook. That's the dopamine addiction. And so what I can do is get people addicted to good things. Like, and I don't mean addicted in a way where you're doing it to damage yourself. I have to work out today or the world's going to fall apart. But you will feel on the days you don't work out that compulsion, like, oh man, I really wish I'd worked out today. Because you begin to associate the pain in the gym that you don't like normally. You begin to associate that pain with, well, every time I incur that pain, my body gets sexier and feels better. So pain is actually a good thing. It just needs to be controlled, focused pain, designed to get this result. And so now I've trained your brain that when you're hurting in the gym, your brain is actually getting happy. And now you're addicted to it. The same thing's going to happen in this challenge. You're going to learn, like the first book in the challenge, everybody's already told me, except for Hunter, because he's an asshole. Everybody's already told me the book changed their life. But Hunter apparently has everything figured out. And my books are too stupid for him. But no, the first book in the challenge, that thing it reveals to you that you're doing wrong with your dreams, it's like, oh, got it. Thanks, boss. Now I can go do the work of fixing it, and it's a relief. Like, everyone that reads that part of the book gets the relief. It's like, oh, that's what I'm fucking up. And everybody fucks it up because we're all scared, and it helps you deal with that being scared and get over it and keep pushing. Once you have that experience, it's like, well, I want another one like that. If these books are how I get those experiences, let me try this next book. And I made the program, I programmed it such that the books all offset each other to a degree. So, like, for example, there is one textbook in the challenge. I'll show you the back of it. All right. And this is a thick read. But I will offset that. And that's the only book like that in the challenge, I promise you. I will offset that eventually. You'll read a book like this that's kind of made for kids, but it's really for the kid in the adult. You read a book like this one, which anybody who's read it's going to know it from the back. You'll read a book like that one, which is... I read this book on vacation in, like, I think 2 days. It's 93 pages technically, but if you look at a lot of the text on the page, and some of the pages are not even text, they're pictures. Like this. Right, so some of the books you'll be able to get through very quickly, including the book in the first week. The first week book you could probably get through in a day. Hey, good stuff, Dave. Stephen Harvey says, pain is weakness leaving the body. Spoken like, well, you're not a Marine, but that's what all the Marines say too. He said, I love this in Ranger School. Oh, I'm sorry, Marines and Ranger School. I guess they started saying it too. No, you know what? That's not fair. I think I first heard that in football, not the military. I'm picking on the Marines. Woo! But yeah, no, you're right, Stephen. It's the problem is we've conditioned an entire nation of people to run away from their pain instead of leaning into it, because your pain is where all your prosperity is. And so now we've made a bunch of cowards that are scared of their pain, and all of their life is about running away from it. Let me get this new Netflix show. Let me go to happy hour. Let me do something to run away from all this pain, instead of turning around and facing the pain and realizing the pain is chasing you to turn you into the person you're trying to become. It's not chasing you to kill you. So most people spend their whole life running from their pain, and that's why they don't get where they're going. Because to get where you're going, you've got to turn around. It's like that scene in, it's a very profound scene. I don't want to scare anybody. If you're easily scared, close your ears. But if you've ever seen the first Nightmare on Elm Street, spoiler alert, when Nancy turns around to face the monster, Freddy, that's a profound scene where she has now overcome she's basically understood, I'm dying or I'm not. And running away from this thing doesn't beat it. It comes to wherever you are. So why keep running? And she turns around and looks him dead in the eye. And that's what everybody who has faced their demons, and really the thing you're facing is your own fear of death. That's the real fear that's driving everything else. You stack other fears on top of it. But everything I'm seeing and all the humans I'm evaluating in this mad science laboratory that I've built on social media is the fear of death controls your life. I can't prove that. I'm not saying that's a factual or scientific statement. It's just what I'm observing right now, anecdotally. And so she turns and realizes there is no escaping death, so I might as well face this thing that I'm scared is going to kill me, because you can't get away from it. And so what happens to soldiers and, warriors who are sent to war is they face their death. I remember the day I faced and accepted the fact that I was probably going to die in a mission that was coming up. And I can't explain it to you. All I can point to is a scripture, I believe in Philippians, that says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in all things through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving make your requests known to God, and the peace which surpasses all understanding will guard your heart and mind in Christ Jesus." That peace, yep, know it intimately. Don't know why it works. I guess maybe at a biological level, your body is designed to give you whatever the chemical cocktail is inside your head that does create that peace, so that you can push through and get whatever you're trying to do done. That would be my guess that the Bible is trying to explain. That would be the scientific explanation of it. All I know is that shit worked. But it didn't work until I actually got down and looked death in the face and had a staring match. And most people can't do that. And that's the thing that I think keeps most people from where they want to go. And hence this book challenge to help you beat that demon. That demon of fear that's keeping you from where you deserve to be. Let's see, my therapist just hit me up. Gotcha. Yeah, no worries. We'll make that work. Hunter said, "That's not what I said. It is a good." I know, brother. I'm fucking with you. Don't take my. I know sometimes it's hard to tell when I'm joking. If I'm shitting on a person, I'm always joking. I don't do that to people who I don't love. All right? It's always coming from a place of love. It's just sometimes my delivery is so fucking deadpan that I think people take me seriously when I'm like. There's been videos where people have taken me seriously where it was the whole video was a comedy bit, and it's like, this motherfucker is like. Wait a minute, this is jokes. Sorry, that's your red button. I didn't mean it. I said it because I thought it was funny. But, there's just people in the world that I'm learning from the comedians I study that there's a lot of people in the world that don't have senses of humor. And those people always think they have a great sense of humor. And it's like, you don't. You're not funny, and you don't find funny things funny. You're just miserable. We'll all be glad when you're dead. All right. Hunter says, it's better the first time. What stuck out this time was the addiction part. Oh, I forgot that was in there. That's a really good point. Yeah, and it's cool because, like you're experiencing, Hunter, when you go through the book the second time, you get something else out of it. That's because I have not read it yet. I'm actually doing, by the way, I'm doing the challenge with all of you. I'm going to be reading the books now. All of the books in this challenge, except for one, maybe two, are books I've read multiple times. But there's one book that I haven't read at all that my wife put in. She's like, we got to do this book. I'm reading it. It's great. She's like, it's probably the same as this other book you put in there, but it'll be from a different perspective for women. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's do it. But the cool part is that I'm looking forward to is getting the new revelations from the book, going through them multiple times. Which, by the way, good books. these should be long-term friendships, not one-time hangouts. All right? Hang out with your books, especially the good ones that have highlights in them. Come back to these highlights every once in a while and just read. Here, I'll read you a highlight that reminded me of something that I F up regularly. Oh, here we go. Here's something I highlighted that stood out to me. This is from the author. He says, I learned 30 years ago that it is foolish to scold. I have enough trouble overcoming my own limitations without fretting over the fact, I like that he used the word fact there, that God has not seen fit to distribute evenly the gift of intelligence. Now, I would change that word in modern language to wisdom instead of intelligence, because I don't need a person to be crazily intelligent to kick ass with them, but you need to be wise. And a lot of people do not seek out wisdom. They seek out modern convention and common sense, the religion of the mediocre. But here's the deal. You join the 52 book challenge, you will not be in the religion of the mediocre anymore, because you'll be getting stuff put into your head by some of the most successful mofos on this planet, right? Who have either written some of this stuff or the books are written about them or studying them. Like this book was studying lots of successful people. The other book that I wanted to show there does that too. But, you know, there's going to be books about understanding how to build relationships too. We told you we're going to make you sexier. So, for example, there's a book from a scientist who can predict within 14 minutes. I think it's 7 or 14 minutes. I think he can predict with over 75% accuracy whether or not a marriage will last just from hanging out in the room with two people. And like watching how they respond to certain situations, he can tell within minutes with a high degree of accuracy whether or not their marriage will last. And it's because he studied people in a laboratory and figured out the keys that cause people conflict and cause people not to work together. And if you read that book, I bet you can avoid linking up with the person who would end up in a bad relationship with you. Oh, more people are joining. That's what's up. Let's see, iFlame says, B, do you know if most of the books are on audio? Yes, most of them are. Like the textbook, the one textbook won't be. But most of these books, ooh, I didn't put this book on the list. Or this one. Damn. Oh, no, this one is. I didn't put this one on it, though. This will be a good one. I might do a 52 book challenge specifically for entrepreneurs. This will be, because if you're not either like getting into freelance work or consulting or entrepreneurship, like starting a business, that book won't really matter to you. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. But yeah, Flames, most of the books will be on audio. Like I've gone to most of the links to try to make sure that that's the case. But there'll be a couple that aren't. But it's always YouTube. But, you know, I recommend two things. If you have a local bookstore that you go to regularly, check there so that you can support them, right? Support your local bookstores, man, because I promise you, the guy that's working there owns the place, and it's paying his rent. Help the brother out, all right? Like a couple of, at least this book in the challenge came from my local used bookstore, and I'll tell you, there's a story behind this book. It's first of all, this book made me cry in the car, like tears running down my face, sobbing, crying. Joy, not sadness, joy. All right. I went to the used bookstore. I sat in the guy's rocking chair that he had set up in the store where you can read books, and I started reading. I don't remember. It was Atlas Shrugged or some book. I don't remember. Or I think it was a neuroscience book. He was like, "What you reading?" I told him, and I told him what I was into. And he was like, "Hey, check this out." And so he hands me the book, and so I sit down with it. And 3 pages in, I'm like, "Hey, I got to get a copy of this immediately. What do I do?" He's like, "Well, sir, that's my copy." He's like, "But here's what I'll do. I'll order you one." I said, "Done. Put me on the list." And so I went around the store, me and Miko doing our favorite thing, which is to hang out and buy books. It's one of our hobbies. We collect books. And I go to check out with our big, our $200 bill of books that we just collected. And the guy, as he's bagging everything up, he's like, "Here, this one's on me." And he gave me his copy of this book. And I can't wait to share it with you guys in the challenge, because this book is a legit life changer. Like, just And it's a kid's book, guys. Like, it's literally, this is how long the page. This book will take you an hour to read, but it'll change your life in that hour. And I don't believe in working to time. I'm a soldier, man. So I've always thought working to time was stupid. Like, why are you punching a clock? Like, it makes sense to punch a clock if you build widgets, because then the boss knows how many widgets can get made in a day and he can project his business. But if you're in the business of, solving problems or creating something out of nothing, there's no clock on that. So I'm not into, you need to read a certain amount of hours every week. No, you just need to get smart shit in your brain. I don't care how long it takes you. Doesn't matter. Just get it in there. All right, so I've specifically picked books that you can get through quickly so that you can take time to digest it and think about what was my one, because there's some books like this one's going to be really hard. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be challenging to do your report on, your review on rather, because it's going to be impossible to pick one. Like, which one of these principles do I pick to talk about, because they're all relevant. Right? But it'll be fun. It'll be like, man, how do I choose one? And because all of the points were so good. So there we go. Hunter says it was better the first time. Okay, I read that one. Cool. Reading Dave says, yeah, that is a great book. Corey says, I have never heard someone use Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street as an example for courage. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, and it's pure courage, because it's the courage that isn't the bullshit Captain America, I'm gonna stand for justice. It's the fuck it, we dying anyway, let's go. That's real courage. Like, real courage just says fuck it. We dying. It's running into the mouth of the fucking lion and saying fuck it. If we're dying, if it's to be death, let's make it a good one. So yeah, Nancy was super courageous. I loved her character in the movie. Flames faced his death when he spent 3 months in the hospital. That'll do it to you, brother, for sure. He says, LOL, I know it's... Yeah, dude. And you, I still owe you, like, at least another 1,000 ass whoopings for that comment. Because it's like, I could say I was offended. I could say that was disrespectful. What really... You just hurt my feelings. That's what... Like, damn. And I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But it's like, damn, that's what he's going to call me? Like, you would have almost been better off calling me the damn N-word than calling me that shit. It's like, God damn it. Oh, God. But it was funny. It was totally, like, our humor styles are similar, so you totally made me laugh, bro. That shit was hilarious. Oh. But yeah, so I still owe you weeks of freaking making fun of you for that shit. Ryan says, who's that light-skinned dude screaming into the mic? Looks like Rockpheus. I forgot the thumbnail I used for the video here. It's hilarious, too. Like, I do one stream that's that, and just look at the numbers. That's like tripled our numbers in one video. Okay, so for the people who are asking, how do you join the 52 book challenge? Here's how we do it. For folks that are just tuning in, you're going to send a text message. Get your phones ready. You ready? Because I want you guys, everyone that's interested in joining this challenge, I want you to like leave the stream and do this right now. You can come back to the stream. I should still be here. And if I'm not, doesn't matter. You'll be in the challenge. All right, so I'm going to have you join my book list. That's what this text messaging thing is about. And so I run my book list through a text service. And all that happens is once a week I send out books. So you can participate in the 52 book challenge, or you can just join my book list to see what is Bryant recommending people read that'll help them. And so you'll get a text message that says, here's the book. Here's the link to Amazon where you can go get it. Oh, the 2 recommendations, we'll come back to that. Support your local bookstore, or if you can, use the Amazon links that we provide out, because then when you buy through Amazon, that kicks money back into our program to pay for all the stuff that we're running to make it work. But I would say first, before you support us, support your local community. Okay, I mean that. Like, I love that people want to support us, but support your local community first. It's important. Okay, now for joining the challenge. It's just joining my book list. So you can participate in the challenge, which will require you to also join our Discord server and participate, or you can just get the weekly book recommendations that help you get healthier, wealthier, and sexier. Okay? And so every week we send out the book. You cop the book, and then you'll have a week to read the book, and then you give us your... Doesn't need to be long. It's just a synopsis of, here was the main thing I took away from the book, the treasure that I found. Tell us, what was the main treasure you found in this book, and how are you going to apply that to your life, career, and business today? And the way you do that, here we go. You pull out your phones, and you text the word books, plural, books, like multiple books, more than one book, books, BOOKS, to the number 833-576-2460. That's 833-576, and I really should have pulled this up, not just on my phone. Let's do this. 833-576-2460 is the number. My face is going to light up huge here in a second, gang, so brace yourselves. Woo! That is a shiny ass face. All right, this is going to send me a text message, I'm sure. No, it actually let me in. Okay, good. We have it pulled up now. And then what I'm going to do is take the number and just put it in the browser so I can see it. Done. All right. Let's see. Tripper H says, long time no see. You have not been on my FYP for months. Well, that's because I started making stuff that you didn't want to watch. That's all that is. I made a thing, you saw it, and was like, I don't know what that is. I'll come back when he gets back to doing the stuff I like. And then I didn't get back to the stuff you liked, unfortunately. That's all that means, my brother. Somebody says, missed your podcast. Well, I've been doing a live late night version of my podcast every day for the last 2 months. Where have you been? Where have you been? I'll tell you how to get there if you want to come hang. But the actual podcast is coming back January 10th. No worries. It'll be there for you. How do I join your Discord? You just head on over. Just search Bryant Chambers Movement in your Discord app. And then you'll see my big, giant, sexy face looking angrily at you. That's how you get on the Discord. Or if you search around and you can't find it, you can always just DM me here and I'll send you a link. I'd give you a link here on TikTok, but I think any link or phone number posting, they just kill it. Huh. I need to figure out why. Huh. Hey, Marcy Pants, what up? Long time. There we go. People are joining. I hear them. Getting the text messages. They're coming in. Good. I'm looking forward. This is going to be a lot of fun, man. And technically, the challenge has already started because we sent out the first book. So you need to hurry up and get to... Oh, let me give everybody the first book, too. I unfortunately don't have it in my office. I'm still looking for my physical copy because I gave it to my kids. Don't give your books to your kids. Kids. They lose them. But I will give you the first book. I'm actually going to pull it up here so I can show it on camera. Hey, I can get the audiobook for free. What? Cool. I'm going to do that. Because then I don't have to keep looking for my physical copy. Okay, so here is... Let me pull up the paperback so you guys know what it actually looks like. Oh, no, that didn't. Never mind, the other one was better. Alright, so here is the first book in the challenge. I'm going to show it to YouTube first, because that way I can actually see what you guys are seeing. There you go. Turning Pro. Tap your inner power and create your life's work. Alright, by Stephen Pressfield. That is your first book. Alright, gang? And then, see if I can get it to... TikTok's going to show it upside down and backwards. Or backwards, not upside down. Because they're too silly to realize to just flip the damn camera. I still don't get that, but live your dreams. That's why I stopped trying to make social media platforms. I clearly don't understand the animal that uses them. There you go. All right, everybody catch that? Was that on screen long enough? If not, no worries, I can reflash it. There we go. People are joining. Look at this. People blowing this thing up. Go ahead. Good on you. All right, let's get back to the YouTube chat. Thank you, Ryan. Hey, when Ryan posted it, it actually worked. When I posted it, kills it. And I own the channel. Who knew? Stranger things. CSG Metal says, what is the Discord link? I think I have that handy, actually. I think I do have the Discord link handy. I can do that in YouTube. I can't do it in TikTok, unfortunately. Go to my Discord. There we go. That's what we want. All right, here we go, gang. Let's see if this link works for the YouTube folks that are looking for. So this is the link to the Discord. So for everybody who's here from TikTok, would you guys like to hang out on my... I do a late night show every night between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we usually run it until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. Or sometimes we've gone till 4 o'clock in the morning, depending on the show. Is anybody interested in coming to that show? Because a lot of you are talking about you've been missing my podcast. That's where I've been. Where I've basically been workshopping content through that new show to get ready for 2021 and the things I want to talk about on my podcast, the things I want to cover. I want to move a little bit more into practical, training folks on how to do things and helping you with practical utilitarian stuff and not just like esoteric streams of consciousness where I narcissistically rant for hours at a time and people seem to enjoy it. So we're trying to bring a little bit more structure, a little bit more like here are practical things that you can use in your life. But don't worry, the flights of fancy and the streams of consciousness will never end because that's kind of my style it's more my art style than my teaching style. I'm two different people. But yeah, if you've been missing the podcast, the late night show is definitely where you want to be. Because there you get to actually interact and not just listen. And the good thing is I leave all the recordings up on YouTube. If you want to just leave YouTube playing in the background, it would serve as the podcast. MLG Ninja says, I am now here. You were banned from the Discord channel. Yes. I imagine you didn't meet the age requirements. If you were banned, that's either I have not seen anybody have to be moderated off of there. If anybody was removed, it's just because they didn't meet the age requirements. It should be the answer. Or there was a mistake and we need to fix it. Hunter says, ranting helps too sometimes. Yeah, I realize that my rants and my streams of consciousness are actually, people have told me, we get to explore our own thoughts and thinking through the things that you say. Like you'll talk about something very personal, but we'll get to see ourselves in the story. And I'm like, well, if that's what you're doing, I'll keep telling the stories. Because I feel negative about it a lot when I do my show because it seems so self-serving when it's not intended to be. It's just I talk about the things I know best, and a lot of times that's the guy who I've run thousands of scientific experiments on. I have some results. But I'm always happy when people say, no, we do get something out of the rant because I was thinking a thing too and hearing your perspective. And really the thing you got to understand about my podcast is one of the things I'm always uncomfortable with is people will come to my show and be like, yo, B, you kicked the truth. I'm like, I don't, man. I don't know the truth. I am kicking what I am experiencing as I am out here discovering the truth. So I may be kicking something that tastes like the truth and looks like the truth, but I'm still looking for it too. So don't think I have it figured out. And a lot of what introverted people don't get about people like me, especially artists like me, because a lot of the artists I work with are actually introverted, believe it or not. But what they don't get about a super extroverted artist is that we talk to, I use words to think and feel. So when I went through a really negative emotional experience this past week, and I needed to talk about it a lot because I needed to know my feelings and understand them. And I can't just sit in a room and, meditate and feel shit. I got to talk about it because my words allow me to hear what's inside my heart and inside my head. And then usually what comes out of my mouth is wrong because I'm feeling out loud. I'm not speaking the truth. I am feeling something and expressing what the emotion is causing internally, which is always going to come out exaggerated. Always, because you're in an emotional state. You're always going to overestimate good and bad when you're in a heightened emotional state. So a lot of the ranting is thinking and feeling out loud, not trying to tell the truth. And it's like, so when people are like, B, I don't agree with everything you say, you shouldn't, because it's thoughts. Not like, I'm not here trying to kick the truth like I'm not trying to rewrite the Bible. I'm just trying to tell y'all, I'm out here in the field. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I think about it. Here's what I'm feeling. I don't have any beliefs yet. If I land on a belief, I'll let you know. But I keep beliefs. And beliefs for me are a very personal but very profound thing. I don't want to just land on a belief. You know, like people who can very easily just decide you're a Democrat. I don't know that. I don't get that. Like, I'm not against it or a Republican. I'm not picking on the side, but like someone who could just pick a thing and that's what I'm going to be. Like, the scientist in me says that's probably not a good evolutionary stable strategy to pick a side of a binary thing and then decide that side is right. Like everything I learned in math says that's probably not the best survivable strategy for all of us to win. And so like people who can just land on opinions and judgments of other people, I'm like, how much of this person have you actually met? Like people do that to me all the time. They'll watch 3 of my videos and then they'll sum me up like, dude, you can't even fathom who I am after watching a damn video. Half the time in the video, you know, I may be saying something to get laughter or whatever it is I'm up to, you know, but, anyway, if you're getting something good out of it, that's encouraging to me. I'm always very mindful of, hey, is this just self-serving or is this actually helping people? So if it's helping, we'll keep going. The minute it stops helping, I'll shut up. The age requirement, MLG, is 21. And we make some exceptions for, like, there's a couple people on my team who are like 20, or there's one person on my team who's 20. So we do make exceptions from time to time, but 21 is the age to be on the Discord server. And it's just because we're focused on professional shit, right? Like somebody who's not at least 21 and even 21's a little young. I first was going to do it at 35. And be like, if you're not 35, get the hell out of here. But I was like, this is social media. There are too many people who we could help if we made the threshold that high. But it's, you know, the average person who's under that age is not really focused on the shit we're talking about, right? They're focused on basically, you know, a young man that age is probably just thinking about how to get girls. And it's like, that is not what we're about here. Most of us already saved the princess from the castle, or she saved us, depending on how you look at it. You know, so we try to keep it focused on professionals who are about, you know, doing killer shit. Not people that just, like, we hang out and we have fun, but for people who just want to hang out, it's like there's a million other fucking servers that young people can go to talk about dumb shit. Like, let's make one where we're actually trying to build something of value, and we'll have fun while we're doing it, but the focus is still the building. Let's see, MLG says, oh, damn, I thought I was banned for my name. No, I don't care about people's name. I mean, unless your name is something intentionally offensive, I wouldn't take an issue with it. Let's see, I love the Bob Ross in the back. Yeah, that's my spirit animal, man. What's up, Bob? I forgot to fist bump him for the show. I'm slipping. Fist bump the Ross. The Ross! He's one of the mascots of our late night show. The Ross, Sam Porter Bridges, you can see in the background. I don't know if TikTok can barely see Sam Porter Bridges, but they can see Bob Ross, and they can see barely because there's a video game covering it. The Vectrex. So Bob Ross, Sam Porter Bridges, and the Vectrex are some of the mascots on the show. MLG says, oh wow, 21, that's a lot, but thank you for the info. 5 more years to go. Yep, hang in there. Ursula says, the book for the first week is Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield, if you missed it. Thank you, Ursula. He says, even at 21, you have to have cool hair. Well, didn't you just cut all your hair off, man? All right, cool hair. I can handle that. I may not have cool hair, but I got a cool hat. There it is. Showtime. How's that? Is that cool enough? All right. Is this cool enough? I didn't have cool hair, but I had a cool hat. Does that work? All right. All right, let's focus on the TikTok people for a second. And then let's get all you out of here. We don't need to hang out all day. Let's see, Crazy says, interesting you say politics may be binary. I don't think politics is binary, because politics is just, like, we make politics into things that politicians do, but what politics actually are just humans coming together to solve collective human problems. That's all politics is, right? So that isn't a Democrat issue. That's not a Republican issue. That's not whatever label I think more simple-minded humans like to put on things, because simple humans like shit oversimplified, because they don't want to think hard. And that's not a statement of intelligence. No human wants to think hard because of the law of conservation of energy, I believe. I'm happy to be corrected if that's wrong, but we conserve energy is the point. And so we don't like to think hard on things that we don't need to think hard, that we don't perceive we need to think hard on, because we know we only get so much energy to think every day. So we want to conserve that. It's easier to just say, hey, I'm a pick a thing and that's what I am. And it's just easier to not have to think through, hey, this problem may not have a Democrat or a Republican solution. We may need to figure something out that has a little bit of both of y'all mixed into this shit, right? But nobody wants to think that hard. And I've seen that play out in professional environments. Most people don't want to think hard. And the reason they don't want to think hard is because they don't have to. We live in a society where nothing is most things are probably not going to try to kill you, right? You're more likely to get hit by the engine of an airplane falling off the airplane than to get attacked by a shark. So what are the human problems that are forcing you to think critically? Well, not having enough resources and being lonely is about the only thing driving humans that I see now, other than people who are in extreme poverty and have other issues. But for a lot of people, I just think the dragons they're facing aren't big enough to push them into, like, I had to go fight a war, so I didn't have the luxury of not thinking critically through a problem or fighting with one of my soldiers because he's a thing and I'm this thing. I don't have fucking time for that. We have to work together or we die. And America no longer has a we have to work together or we die problem, so we all bitch at each other because we're bitches. I don't see it. I don't see how that could be any other observation. I'm happy to get a different perspective. I'm not saying that's my belief. That is what I'm observing. So if someone has a different perspective, I'm happy to hear it. But, I don't think politics is binary. I think humans are way more complex than that. I think they've just been duped into not thinking critically because people with money like to keep that money, and people who don't think critically usually don't get access to money. That's why I think you have what you have. So yeah, no, I am not saying politics is binary. I'm saying when you make things like that binary, you basically turn them into a religion, and there's not going to be any intelligent discourse among large groups of people when you have created a religion. It's just not going to happen. To me, I've never seen it happen. Maybe there's a historical example that proves that statement wrong. Happy to hear it. But no. Anyway, book challenge. Jennifer says, that's a pimp hat. Get it right. Jennifer, that's hilarious. MLG says, I love watching B struggle to put earphones on a dude, that was smooth. That wasn't a struggle. You know how many times I've had to put headphones on with this hat? I'm practiced at it now. That wasn't no struggle. That was smooth. Yeah, it was a struggle. I'm trying to cover for myself. I'm failing. Cool. Okay, so quick question for everybody here. Did everybody get the information you need to join the 52 book challenge so you can get healthier, wealthier, and sexier in 2022. Is there anybody here between YouTube and TikTok who didn't get access to the program, who wants access to the program? Say I in the comments if you did not get access and you want access. Just say I, so I can see if I need to put out, because I'm not going to keep putting out the information if everybody's good. And then I'm going to move on to the next thing, and we're going to get you guys up out of here, because I want to go hang out with my wife. Because she is more awesome than you. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. Okay, a couple people saying I. Okay, so here's how we do it. And I want you to do this right. For the people saying I want you to do this right now. Go to your text messaging service, leave TikTok. Well, wait for me to finish saying it, then leave TikTok. All right, and YouTube too. I want you to go to your texting app and text the word books. This is free, except standard text messaging rates apply. Just know that. Text the word books, BOOKS, to this number. 533. I'm sorry, that is completely wrong. Don't say 533. I do that every time. Fucking dyslexia. 833 576 2460. You're watching my mental health issues play out on a show. 833 576 2460. Text the word books to 833 576 2460. And that's how you get in. That'll take care of I am not going to try to pronounce your name because both of you have really seemingly hard names to pronounce. So I'm not going to try. I'm just going to say those wonderful people who said something in the comments, that's how you join. And if I need to say it again, just let me know. MLG says, should I receive a message right away after texting the number, or should I wait a little? You have the answer to that question now. I think it takes like 20 seconds. Or something like that. At least I think when I joined, that's about how long it took. Zach Bundy. What up, Zach? Hunter says, speaking of the lovely and talented wife, have y'all read the book Wild at Heart? Of course. It was one of the first books we read together. John Eldridge is a beast. Now, what you need to learn... Fucking arrogant bastard. I'm sorry. What you could enjoy reading is his follow-up book, Journey of Desire. I think it's Journey of Desire, right? Isn't that the name of the book? The Journey of Desire? Yeah, The Journey of Desire. Give that one a read. That is the first book I ever gifted to my wife, and I wrote her a love note in it because she was my greatest desire and still is. I spent my whole life up to the point I met her looking for her, and I found her. And the 52 book challenge is going to teach you how to find yours. Or it's going to at least teach you how to be the person that's capable of finding yours. You're the one that's got to go out there and do the work. The book challenge ain't going to help you do the work, but it's going to help you be the person. All right, let's come back to the comments. Let's get out of here. So yes, we have read Wild at Heart, and then I gifted her. I read Journey of Desire, and then I gifted it to her right before I went to war. I wrote her a love note in it and handed her the book because I had already, we were already pretty much had figured out we were going to be married. Before my first deployment, not the combat deployment. I gave it to her before my first deployment, and then we got married, and then all the other stuff went down. But yeah, Journey of Desire is dope. Maybe not quite as dope as Wild at Heart. I think Wild at Heart's probably a little bit more emotional, but Journey of Desire's got some good stuff in there. And just so Hunter and everybody listening, just so you know, key in on the fact that I not only remembered the name of that book, I remembered the name of the author. If I remember somebody's name because of my whole weird brain shit issues that I have, it is very hard for me to remember names. Very hard. I have systems and practices and like mathematical games and shit I played just to remember people's names. If I remember your name without having to think about it, you have had a very profound emotional impact on me. Like, so, like, if I'm like, oh yeah, Wild at Heart, John Eldridge, if I can spout that shit off, that is something to key into. Because if I can remember your name of a book I read over 20 years ago, probably, what is it, 2021? Probably 20 years ago is when I read that. If I can remember that off the top of my head, there was probably some crying while I was reading that book. Because I'm not a typically super emotional guy, but I feel things very, very intensely. And when, for whatever reason, hearing like direct bone marrow level truth, tears are my reaction to it. Like, that's why I said this kid's book, that's part of our challenge, that you guys are going to love. I couldn't stop crying because it's just, the truth is so, like, it just hits you in the spirit, like, and it's like, you're not sad. I'm not crying because I'm sad. It's like, I also cry when I'm like beyond over the top angry. Like the last fight I ever got into, I was crying during it. But it's because the tears were the tension between, I didn't want to hurt the guy, and I equally wanted to rip both of his fucking eyeballs out of his head. So I had that tension inside me of don't do any harm, but this motherfucker pushing the line and he tried to choke me and he put his hands on me. I'm gonna fucking kill him. Like that's the tension going on in my head led to me crying, and then the rest of my football team sat on me so that I couldn't get to the guy. By the way, fun story, me and that dude are actually, we're acquaintances now. I wouldn't necessarily call him a friend because I haven't seen him in years, but he and I actually became friendly years and years after that shit went down. This would have been maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago. He and I reconnected, and he and I actually worked on making a song together, and it was fun. Like, we hung out. I enjoyed hanging with him. He had changed a lot. I had grown probably a lot too. And it was cool. It was just nice to reconnect with a person who the last time we were engaged, it was fucking fisticuffs, and then to see him again. And I could even tell when we re-engaged, I was a lot fucking bigger than I was when I was a kid. He kind of looked at me like, oh shit. I'm like, hey, it ain't nothing but love, man. That was 25 years ago. I don't give a shit about some dumbass fight we both shouldn't have been in because you were drunk. Who cares? Let's keep it moving. Let's see, Dave says, Wild at Heart is a book I have on the shelf and in my reading queue. You might want to bump that one up a few notches, Dave. It's a good one. Oh, MLG, if you're across the pond, you're never getting that text. The texting system, I should have said that. That's my fault. I'm so sometimes in my own narcissistic bubble that I'm not thinking of all the other perspectives in the room. Forgive me for that. I am working on it. If you are overseas, this will not work for the texting system, but on our Discord server, you can get access to the books because we're posting them there. Unfortunately, MLG also cannot access our Discord server, so we'll have to figure out a separate solution for that. But if you're overseas, the Discord server is where you get the books. All right, who else is still here? It's telling me I have a new message, but I don't see it. Cool Course is what's the Discord server? The Discord server is Bryant, the Bryant Chambers Movement. My name and movement. That's the name of the Discord server. And by the way, if all of you, like, for all of you on TikTok, no, if I link it, TikTok will destroy the link. Otherwise, I said it earlier when you asked. I said I would have linked it, but I can't. I have linked it on YouTube, though. So here's what I'm going to say to everybody that's still following me on TikTok. I don't know exactly what the future is with me and the whole TikTok thing. We'll see. But I think it's vitally important that if, and this is a big if you get something good out of the things I say on these shows or on these videos, and you would very much like to get more of it, right? Like, for those of you who say, oh, you haven't been on my FYP in forever. Well, it's no mystery. I have changed some of the things that I'm doing, and I'm no longer showing up in your FYP because what you followed me for is not exactly what I'm doing. And that is what I have done on every platform known to man, because I will not put myself into a box I'm just, like, for the people who call me the fucking motivational speaker, I fucking hate that term. Now, I don't get offended when you call me it because I realize that you mean it as a compliment. But it's the most, like, it's just, you might as well call me bullshit artist. because I know for a fact motivation isn't anybody's fucking problem, period. And so people are trying to sell you motivation because it's an easy thing to sell. I can make you feel something when I give you motivation. But that motivation isn't getting you fucking results. So when people put me, oh, he's a motivational speaker, fuck you. That motivational speaking shit drives me nuts, because how many people in this room that just heard the motivational speech then went and became the fucking ambassador of Quan? Nobody. They just felt good for a minute. Just it's the same issue I used to have working in ministry at churches. It's like, at what point do we stop just making people feel good and actually turn them into people who can be killers and go out here and actually do something for the Lord? And then you realize, oh, wait a minute. It isn't the teaching that's wrong. It's the scripture that says the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. And you realize there's only a small percentage of people who are ever going to be willing to bleed the way it takes to be great. And so I just made up my mind, that's who I want to talk to. Those people. And you don't talk to those people by putting yourself in a fucking motivational speaker box. So if I am your motivational speaker, thank you. I appreciate that I was able to, if I had any positive impact on your life, I'm grateful for it. And this isn't coming from a place of entitlement or arrogance. It's just, that is not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you past looking at the world in these overly simplified ways that aren't getting you the results you want. And then continuing to listen to gurus who will just keep selling you bullshit courses that don't actually develop the parts of your mind, and that not just the mind, but actually hold you accountable to taking the actions that make you better. I don't want to be a part of that. So yeah, goddamn right, I'm not in your FYP page, because I'm not going to be the guy. I'm not going to play the motivational speaker checkbox. Like, if you aren't motivated, don't fucking come around me, is what I would tell you. And hopefully, for 3 people here, that statement motivated you. Do you think if a war kicks off, and you walk up to me, B, I want to help you fight, I'm just not motivated, I'm going to be like, hey, yeah, no. Come on, man, I'll help you be motivated to not die, motherfucker. Like, you know, like, fuck you. It's kind of my response. Like, if you need motivation, it's because you're not taking care of the root cause of your lack of motivation. So let's deal with that. Then you'll have all the motivation you need. But not a whole lot of motivational speaking is going to tell you that. They're just going to keep making you feel good, so you'll keep sending them money. I don't want to do that shit. And if it means I make less money, because I make plenty of it anyway, I'll just make less. Fuck it. I don't want to be anybody's crutch. Right? So, anyway. Well said, MLG. Well said, man. But cool core, if what I gave you, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong camera. If me giving you the Bryant Chambers movement doesn't help you get to the Discord, like if you can't find it, just DM me. Just shoot me a DM when we get off the stream, and I'll shoot you the link there. That's easy, man. That's really easy to do. Now, going back to what I was saying. Let's see. He says, can we call you a YouTuber? That's fine. This is someone who's been around me a while. Yeah, I've never heard of an unmotivated person in a combat zone. Funny how that works. Yeah, your lack of motivation is that your life's too fucking easy. Like, you're the thing you want, you just like, here's all I'll say to you is if you're unmotivated, the thing you want, you don't want bad enough. End of discussion. That's the end of every motivational speech. If you don't have it, it's because if you're working toward it, then fine, you're working toward it. But if you don't have the motivation to put in the work to get, like, Brian, how do you stay motivated to go to the gym? I hate being fat. I hate looking like shit. And I hate feeling like shit more than I hate being in pain. And I've trained my brain to enjoy the pain because the pain represents my obliques and ab muscles showing up. So every time I get in pain, a new ab shows up. And I'm like, I've now associated pain with the thing I want. So pain is good. But all the gurus and the marketers to pain is bad. Let me give you the quick and easy way to make $10 billion. Fuck you, there isn't one. Well, there is one, but you're probably not going to have access to it. Let me just tell you that. Right? Unless your dad's a billionaire. So, That's the shit that just, like, the shit the internet is looking for. I learned 20 years ago, that is not what I talk about. So I talk to a much smaller, the fact that I ever blew up on the internet is hilarious to me. Because it's like, the shit I talk about is not what most people want to hear. It's the opposite. So, here we are. Corey Strzok says, I'm on YouTube, Discord, and YouTube watching you now. Thanks, brother. Just went through a breakup trying to do... Hey. Oh, that's Corey. Are you cool, Core? Is that you, brother? I like meeting brothers like you. Take action, brothers. That's what I'm talking about. Why the hell is Tom Brady on my Madden 22? Sorry. We're preparing for our late night show, and I had to pull up Madden to look at something. And you know what? Tom Brady looks better though than that crazy pink and green guy they put on there. So we'll go with Tom and his cool looking socks. Jim Moran says, what's the one way to make 10 billion that I don't have access to? A dad with more than 10 billion, or a mom, or an other, if they're non-gender binary. Don't know how many non-gender binary billionaires there are, but hey, there you go. Who's going to be on the Super? Man, I have no idea. This year's, who knows? Like, I seriously think the Super Bowl may end up being the freaking Eagles versus the Bengals. Like anybody could do it at this point because everybody is great and sucks. There's no team. I guess Green Bay is the team that's dominant, but I've watched football long enough to see that the team that usually dominates the whole year is not often, it's as often not the team that wins as it is the team that wins. So it's like Green Bay would be the easy choice, but almost always that team that has that dominating regular season, for whatever reason in the postseason, they don't make it happen. But, I mean, Green Bay would be the rational choice, but dude, it could literally be the Bengals and the Eagles in the Super Bowl at this point. Because, like, so for example, if, let's say, the Eagles and Tampa Bay play, Tampa Bay can't stop the run, and neither can the Rams. And the Eagles are just going to run it down your throat all damn day. Now, both of those teams can generate offense, so they can still win. But if the Eagles' defense is able to get stops, and Tampa's been struggling with, like, they got beat by the Saints, and then just recently they got beat by another scrub team, I think. So it's like, you know, and then Dallas laid a complete egg against a team that's been bad for damn near 8 weeks. You know, with their crappy offense. So I don't know. But I think Green Bay and the Chiefs would make the most sense. But it could just as easily be the Bengals and the Eagles. Hunter says, okay, home. Take it easy, Hunter. Always good to see you. Victoria says, hello, nice hat. Why, thank you, Victoria. They told me I had to have cool hair to be on this show. And I don't have real cool hair, so I went and got a cool hat. This is my wife's hat. I'm glad you guys like it. Let's see, MLG says, but if you never went viral, you might never have met some people. I could have easily still just met them. You know what I mean? Like, that's the variables that you're putting into the calculus of that equation aren't wrong, but I could have just as easily met them doing something else. You know what I mean? The virality just happens to be where I met them. And believe me, virality, like, I don't like going viral. Honestly, because it usually exposes, the viral stuff exposes you usually to the people you don't want to be connected to. It's all the people with mental health issues that make everybody else responsible for managing their emotions on the internet. Just, there's too many people like that. And when you start going viral, they come out the fucking woodwork. And it's just like, well, this was fun until I got awesome. Like, social media was fun until I blew up on it. Corey, cool. Well, welcome, Corey. Glad you're here, bro. Let's see. Crazy Fam says you blame 2020 everything. Yeah, it's been wonky. It's definitely been wonky. Victoria says, hey, Victoria, I did see your email, and thank you for being patient with me. I know I haven't responded. The answer to your question is I have no idea. Where are you taking the quote from? Dude, I've talked so much shit on the internet. I've made probably 4,000 pieces of content. So like when people are like, yo, B, that quote you had back in 73, I don't remember saying it. So what did I say? Because I was probably ranting, and almost everything I say on these shows is freestyling. You think like a rapper who's just coming up with shit off the top of his head, it's the same. I used to be a rapper. Maybe that has something to do with it. But so the gist of the quote that you gave seemed right, but I wasn't sure if the wording was. Because you said if you're not willing to bleed for your dream, it's just an idea. I don't remember saying that. I remember saying, because I've said that quote probably 70 different ways, but it's if you're not willing to bleed for your dream, I think what I said is then you don't have a dream. You know, but I could have said it the way you said it. You just, wherever you got the reference from, just take all cues from wherever you heard it. Because I don't remember if it's accurate. You're going to have to go back to wherever you heard that from. Let's see, Fam says, viral stuff stinks. You get initial surge and then have a second, third, and fourth surge. You had a post blow up once on social and shared a funny video in a large group and it just won't die. That's good. I mean, sometimes virality is cool. But a lot of this, like, I've had stuff, like more teaching stuff go viral before. That stuff's usually fun. Because especially if I'm talking about a very specific issue that I'm helping people solve. Like the first thing I ever went viral for on YouTube, this is going back to like 2013 probably, was a video for how to legally and properly use copyrighted material in your YouTube videos without the Content ID system destroying you. And I actually did some journalistic work. I'm not a journalist, but I did what a journalist would do. And I researched and I started reaching out to the PR teams and the communications and marketing and leadership teams at the different video game publishers, because video games was my lane. And I just started reaching out and saying, hey, we've got this issue on YouTube. I know you're not necessarily causing it, but we need written express permission from you to be able to do this so that when the YouTube system comes after us, we can point to a link on your website or an email that you sent us that we can copy and paste into the system that says Mark Thompson from, Warner Brothers Video Games. It's not his name, but I had that email. Hereby gives Bryant whatever permission to use whatever he wants from Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers will tag everything you do. But if you have written permission from them, I was able to post that email in the system and say, hey, leave my Suikoden video alone. I have permission from the guy at the top. And they were like, YouTube was like, okay, cool. Because what happens is the system is flagging it automatically. It's not YouTube. It's actually Warner Brothers set that up ahead of time. And so once Warner Brothers sees that I posted the email from their guy, they see it and say, okay, he's cool, take it off. Right? So I started reaching out to these companies and saying, hey, we want to help you promote your stuff. But the way YouTube works, they're cowards, just like any big business would be. That's not a hit. It's the way they have to be. Because that's not fair. YouTube's just responding to the cowardice of the shitty ass fucking music industry, which has been raping people for the last 100 years for their billions of dollars, and now they can't do that shit anymore, and they're trying to fucking pinch pennies because they know they're dead, right? And so now they're pinching pennies on your videos. And so the purpose of the video was, hey, let's make gaming different. Let's not make the gaming companies like the music industry. So I started reaching out, and it was so cool because I met so many people in the gaming industry when I did that. Like the people at Reality Pump, who make arguably one of my favorite video games of all time. They were cool as shit to me. Them and the company that publishes their stuff. Because then another THQ bought them, but it was before THQ bought the other. Anyway, they were like one of the C-suite executives was the guy that responded to the email. He's like, hey man, I saw your email. Go nuts. I own the company, man. Post whatever you want and you can use this email. I was like, bro, this dude is cool. Like, I met the people at Square Enix. That was my favorite team to work with, hands down. And I've worked with a lot of good teams, but Square Enix were particularly sweet and nice to me. And I'm not used to people being that kind in the world, so it was really nice. But so I did that, and we started to publish. I had a website that listed, here are all the companies that are supporting us. And then, other, like GameSpot and the bigger outlets picked it up and ran with it. But then eventually what we started talking the companies into doing was, hey, don't rely on my website. Post it on your website so that when YouTube trips out, we can just link them to your page that says, not Epic Games. It was, I think Double Fine did this. where Double Fine Games said, yo, YouTube. It's like the website just said, yo, YouTube. This guy has permission to post whatever the hell he wants. Signed Double Fine. It was some funny thing they turned it into. It was great. And like that was the fun of going through that process. Anyway, I don't know how I got on that rant, but it was fun to talk about it. Hopefully it was helpful to you. And answered whatever question was probably a short question that I answered very longly. Cool. But I know we were talking about virality. So my point is that video went viral. And it was great because that video helped a lot of people. I think it still does views. I think it's at like 4 million or something like that. But it helped a lot of people. And it was actually the thing that first made me blow up on YouTube the first time I blew up on YouTube before the second channel. You know, because we helped a lot of people with that. But anyway, yeah, going viral can be good. It's just in my experience, like a lot of the things I've gone viral for are entertainment shit. And that just usually attracts people that are not in emotional states that I want to be around. So. All right, any last minute quotes? Okay, so for the TikTok folks who are still here, would you like to be on my late night show that I do every night, especially if you like my podcast? Would you like to be on the show? Say yes in the comments, please, so I know who's here, and then I'll give you the link. If nobody says anything, then we'll just end the show, because I don't want to waste anybody's time. And thanks to everybody who joined the book challenge. Super excited about getting y'all started. And remember, everybody that joined today, you're already behind. You are already behind because the first book has gone out. I'll show you the first book again, just so you know what it is. And if you're on my Discord server already, you can get the book there too. So here's the first book in the challenge. I know it's backwards on TikTok because they're silly. But that's okay. We're all silly. Okay, so I'm going to hold the first book here. You guys okay, so people are saying yes and yes. For the people who are saying yes, okay, let me put this down. For everybody who said yes, I want you to do this right now, and I want to see you on this other chat feed, all right? Because if you don't do it right now, you'll forget and we'll miss the opportunity. I want you to type this in. Go on your phone, type in your web browser, live, L-I-V-E, Bryant Chambers, B-R-Y-A-N-T, chambers.com. live.bryantchambers.com. That link is going to take you directly to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, press the bell to get the notifications however you like them. I recommend get all notifications because the only notifications you're getting from me are going to be the ones when we go live at night so that you know we're streaming if YouTube decides to tell you. live.bryantchambers.com, subscribe, and then come hang out with us on the YouTube stream where I can actually engage and look at the comments and talk with everybody. And then we can probably turn the TikTok stream off because YouTube is definitely the preferred streaming app. TikTok is still working on trying to make streaming. I think their streaming offer still has some catching up to do with the other platforms that are out here. Okay, so for that, here is the first. Let's go back to the first book. There you go, man. And for the YouTube folks, although most of the YouTube folks should already have this. Dang, the glare is real. Damn, that thing does not want to cooperate. There you go, gang. That is the first book on the 52 book challenge. Did everybody get the book? And did everybody get the link to come hang out? And so those of you who said yes, come jump on the YouTube feed so I can say hi to you. The second book comes out Saturday. So every week a new book comes out, Hip. Hey, Victor's here. What's up, man? Hey, Coach, what's up, man? Do you want the book challenge promoted? If so, do you have a link? Nope, no link. You can just tell people if they want to join, text books to 833-576-2460 and let them know standard text messaging rates apply. That's all I got to do. And then we'll take care of making sure everybody's on the Discord server through the texting app too. I'll send out a separate text probably. I'll wait to see how many people join today after the call, and then we'll send that out. Make sure everybody knows how to actually do the challenge. Let's see, Crazy Fam says, true, clock app has work to do, but don't think I would have accidentally run across you on YouTube. Yeah, but I mean, like a lot of the people I've met, like I just talked about, the last kind of big dream I had for my life just came true, basically the day after Christmas. And like, yes, the way it happened through social media, but I see other avenues completely off of the internet where it still probably very much could have happened. Right, especially if I really was pushing it to happen. Like this dream just kind of fell in my lap. I was no longer pursuing it actively. It was still a thing that I had in the back of my mind. Like, one day we'll get to it. I'm working on some other stuff right now. But the opportunity came, and I thought to myself, this opportunity has come once before. I couldn't do it because I had too much going on, running another guy's business and starting my own. And I was like, I can't. But now I can. So it's gonna be fun. Crazy says, I'm rolling out. Have a good one. Have a good one, Crazy. I see you, Coach. What is your profession? Cool. All right. It looks like we took care of everybody. I haven't seen the folks from TikTok comment on YouTube yet, but we'll see if they do. We'll see how many people actually follow through. That'll be a good test to see how many people are diligent and actually follow through. Yeah, thanks for being here, Coach. It's always good to see you, man. Clem Jr. says, yo, what's up? I just subscribed. My man, what up, Clem? We got a Clem and a Clem now. That's going to be interesting. Cool. Corey Town says, why did you say the song Lose Yourself by Eminem is a ridiculous message the other night on stream? Brother, you talking about somebody else. Was you smoking? I don't know. I don't even know that song. What you talking about? I think you're confusing me with another stream. I don't know that song at all. Like, I don't know a song by that name. And admittedly, I'm not super familiar with Eminem's music. He wasn't a guy I followed very closely. Always respected his rhyme skills. But he came up at a time where I was kind of done, like, caring about new music and, like, I don't care. I have the shit I like. Let's see, MLG says, B, maybe you were smoking. Well, there would be video footage of it if I was. Yeah, I'm glad too, Coach. Thanks for coming through. All right, it looks like the folks on TikTok have all said the things, so I'm going to bid all of you a fond adieu and hopefully see you over on my late night show over on YouTube. Much love, gang. Talk to you soon. All right, YouTube, what's happening? Okay, so I didn't say the song Lose Yourself had a ridiculous message. Somebody was singing a song and I responded to it. Give me the lyrics, dude. I don't know. I don't remember. Like, the thing I have to get across to everybody who watches this show is once I have said something on this show, within 5 minutes, I have forgotten that I fucking said it. I am improvising. This is not a script that I'm reading from that I studied 11 times. I say shit out of my ass. I don't know what I said or why I said it. You got to give me some more context. So, what were the lyrics? Just give me the lyrics and I'll tell you why I thought it was shitty. Or whatever I thought. MLG says he loves the jazz. But yeah, like I've been iterating that probably for the better part of 7 years. Like, audience, I love you. Stop asking me questions I can't answer. Or, like, just give me the, like, I will say shit on the show that someone will think is profound. I have no idea that I said it. Just because I am talking for sometimes 4 hours. Like, I said a lot of shit that night that I don't remember. Yeah. So anytime you want me to recall something I said, you got to give me the context. Like, what did I say specifically? What was I responding to? Otherwise, I just won't remember that the thing happened. So I said to my son, that sounds great, but it's not the best message. Okay. What would I have been talking about if I said that to him? I need some lyrics. What was he actually humming is what I would have to know. Yeah, like, whatever my son was humming, I didn't even know it was an Eminem song. Now I know. Okay, Corey says, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance. Oh, it's right off the top. You don't only get one shot. The fuck is that? Nobody only gets one shot unless they die the day after they're born. That's the part I was responding to. That's an easy one. Yeah, you only get one shot is horse shit. That's really bad advice. Because you're going to cause people to take some really unnecessary risks trying to maximize their only chance. Like, you're going to get another chance. Now, you're not going to get infinite chances to not fuck up, but you'll get another chance. In fact, the person who taught that, I think, the best, oh, fuck. Enough with people in our family dying, bro. Can we get enough of that shit? We just started the new year. Fuck, I got to reach out to my brother. So yeah, like the you only get one shot is just, I would not tell that to somebody. But I understand I also understand what Eminem is trying to say. What I don't want is my son's subconscious brain being programmed by a song lyric that is rhetorical and not meant to be taken exactly literally. That's another thing that I think people have trouble with me is I was a songwriter before I was a speaker. So I use a lot of rhetoric in my speech, meaning I say things that I don't exactly mean. I'm saying things to talk around something to get at the truth. Right? So I understand what Eminem's trying to say, but I also have a toddler who I'm trying to not let his brain get programmed into bad thinking. Like, you only get one shot is really bad advice. It's never going to just be one shot. Why is that taking so long? Okay, there it is. Cool. Thanks for giving me the context, Corey. That did make it easier to answer. Thank you. Thanks for being patient with me, man. I know it's got to be hard as the viewer. You want to ask a question, and the guy on the camera's like, I don't know. But it's understanding somebody's situation, right? Like, if you have not made 4,000 pieces of content, you may not be empathetic to the idea of, oh, this guy talked every day for the last 14 years. He's probably not going to remember everything he said during every show. And because I remember doing that to my favorite artists. Like, one of my favorite bands had this skit on one of their albums where there was a new guy in the band, and folks who had been fans of the band for 20 years would always run up, man, I partied with y'all back when y'all, and he's like, who the fuck is y'all? It's like, I wasn't there. But, from the fans' perspective, it's just, I love this thing y'all are doing, and you're a part of it, so I associate you with it. He's like, I wasn't there back in '83 when they were jamming with Michael Jackson on Good Times. Like, I wasn't born. Like, motherfuckers weren't alive. What are you talking about? Yeah, Corey says, I always appreciate what you have to say. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I get what you mean about not remembering everything, LOL. I just always listen to you very intently. And that's why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. You're one of the people who's hanging on to my words. And someone like that, it's like, because I do that to the people I follow. Like, I could walk up to Mark Bustler right now and be like, man, you remember in episode 638 when you was talking about Zach Zahn and you flew over the wall? He's going to be like, what in the fuck are you talking about? Because he made the video once and moved on. I watched the video 19 times. So for me, his video, I am more intimate with his video than he is. Because he made it and he's on to making the next thing. But as the consumer, you're looking at it from like, I've watched your movie 800 times. So like, because people ask me like, B, what did you mean when you said, like, I don't even remember saying that shit. Where was that? Like, I don't know. You know, and so I'm just trying to give you the perspective of, I love the fact that you're into my shit enough to even ask me a question, and eternally grateful. I just can't help you because I don't remember. So anytime you guys want to hit me up about a thing I said, just give me, what did you say? What was the context? And it'll bring me back to, oh yeah, I do. Now I remember my son singing that lyric. I get it now. It's like, okay, I remember. He says, that's you from 23 hours ago. That doesn't count anymore. I know, right? All right, so I'm gonna get you guys out of here. I'm gonna go eat breakfast. I'm gonna go break my fast for the day. I might even get in, trying to figure out how I want to structure my workout today. Or if I want to keep letting my hand heal and just do leg work. Because I don't want to put the pressure on my open wound that's still healing. But we will see. Uh-oh, looks like people are still joining the book list. Watch out now. Oh no, that was, okay, yeah, got it, yes sir. Okay, cool. Actually, I will let her figure that out and not assume that she doesn't know. Let's not make assumptions. Cool. All right, so is everybody here on YouTube, have you joined the 52 book challenge? Are you in? And then we should be back tonight. I don't have any meetings scheduled that are going to make the stream start late, so we should be able to start at 9 p.m. I've also entertained starting at 10 p.m. and just pushing it back till later, but I'll need to kind of talk with the audience when we do the show to figure out what kind of works best for people, because, you know, our show is international, so people all over the world watch and look at the things we do. But, what's it called? What did I want to tell y'all about that? Oh, must not have been important. Yeah, I'm sorry, Corey. Eastern Standard Time. I have a habit of doing that. Eastern Standard Time is everything with us. This is horse crap. What are you doing? All right. So Everybody's ready. I'm going to get up out of here, go have some breakfast, and then we'll be back. We should be back around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our game therapy stream. What's tonight? Tuesday? So we got Chernobylite is the scheduled experience for this evening. So with that said, with that in mind, this whole time I've been talking. I should have had this on screen. The book challenge right there on the screen. Whoop-de-doo. But I also wanted to be on camera so you guys didn't have to look at all the other stuff. Huh. Why is Madden not showing up in there? Did the box come unplugged? That's really weird. We'll figure that out later. Cool. All right, gang. I love you much. We are stronger than I. I'll see you back here in a couple hours. Peace.